The AM2 Flying Tank cost the United States military millions of dollars, flew for approximately 3 seconds, destroyed a newsreel camera, terrorized 24 Mexican children in fake mustaches, demolished an entire miniature fake Japanese village, and killed exactly 0 enemies. Welcome to the bunker. I'm Professor Von Blunder, and today we're diving into one of the most spectacular military demonstration failures in American history, the AM2 Flying Tank. Picture this. It's World War II, and some genius at the Pentagon asks, what if we could make tanks fly? Not with wings, not with helicopters, but by making them bounce really, really hard. The logic was bulletproof. If you can't drive heavy armor through jungles and mountains, just make it hop over them. What could possibly go wrong? Spoiler alert, absolutely everything. The AM2 was designed to solve a real problem. Getting heavy tanks into rough terrain without roads is hard. So the Army decided to strap a reinforced aerodynamic frame to a tank and make it bounce into the air using its own forward momentum. Think of it like a pogo stick, except it weighs several tons, is made of armor plating, and is piloted by someone who definitely did not sign up for this. In military engineering terms, that means they bolted some metal wings to a tank and hoped physics would be kind. To showcase this marvel of modern stupidity, the Army organized a press demonstration. They invited reporters, photographers, and newsreel crews to witness the future of armored warfare. And because nothing says credible military operation like theatrics, they built a fake Japanese village at 1:2 scale. That's right, a miniature village. The buildings had rice paper walls and wood roofs painted to look like clay tiles. It looked like a Hollywood backlot designed by someone who had never been to Japan and didn't plan to start now. But the real masterpiece, the civilians. The Army hired 24 Mexican children, dressed them in pajamas, gave them oversized wooden teeth and mustaches, and told them to stand around looking Japanese. One little girl had her face painted like a geisha, but she looked more like a tiny, terrified clown. Now, if you had to convince the press that your flying tank worked, would you build a miniature fake Japanese village staffed by children in costumes? Because that's exactly what they did. Captain Gondry, the officer in charge, was beaming with confidence. The reporters were scribbling notes, and Private Timmy, sitting in the driver's seat of the AM2, was silently praying to every god he could remember. The AM2 trundled toward the village. Private Timmy gripped the controls as the tank began to bounce. Each bounce got longer. The tank looked like it absolutely did not want to fly, but could be intimidated into doing it by sheer mechanical stubbornness. 1 foot off the ground. Then 2 feet. Then 3 feet. The crowd murmured in genuine surprise. Dust swirled everywhere, and then, with a terrible crash, the AM2 slammed directly into the newsreel camera. Glass shattered. The camera crew dove for cover. Timmy screamed something that definitely violated military protocol. The tank flopped down hard and caught the back end of a dip in the ground. In tactical terms, that means it launched like a very angry, very armored seesaw. The AM2 rocketed back into the air at a 20-degree angle, soared 10 feet high, and came crashing down, spinning like a demonic top. Bounce 1, dust everywhere. Bounce 2, 3 feet of altitude. Bounce 3, destroyed a newsreel camera. Bounce 4, airborne at a 20-degree angle. Bounce 5, spinning uncontrollably into a village full of children. The Mexican kids fled, fake mustaches flying off in every direction. The AM2 plowed through the tiny wooden buildings like a tornado made of steel. Miniature walls exploded. Tiny roofs launched into the sky. Timmy was still inside, being rattled around like a bean in a very expensive, very violent maraca. When the tank finally skidded to a stop, there was silence. Captain Gondry walked over to the newsreel crews and asked, very seriously, if they could edit the footage to make it look impressive. In public relations terms, that means he wanted them to lie. Reporter R.E. Lincoln closed his notepad, walked back to his Jeep, and left. He thought the demonstration was very impressive. Just not the kind of impression the Army wanted. Time for the stupidity meter. Let's rate the AM2 Flying Tank out of 10. Money wasted? Millions of dollars to build a tank that flew for 3 seconds and destroyed its own press event. Enemies killed? 0. It killed a camera, some miniature buildings, and Timmy's will to live. Collateral damage to Timmy? Timmy was trapped inside a spinning armored death trap that crashed into a fake village while 24 children ran screaming. He survived, but his hearing did not. Overall score, 9 out of 10. It would be a 10, but at least it actually got off the ground. Barely. If you had unlimited military funding in the 1940s, what ridiculous flying vehicle would you build? Let me know in the comments. And someone please check on Timmy. I think he's still stuck in the wreckage of a tiny Japanese tea house.